Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video. It's currently Saturday, April 9th. It is a little over a week since I moved into the new place. I am still not really settled. It has been a long week. I am so tired. It was actually my birthday yesterday, and people were like asking me if I was doing anything for it, and I just this whole week I've been so exhausted and so focused on the moving stuff as well as like a couple other things that I literally forgot my birthday was coming up this week. So that's how things have been. I also feel like I haven't been sleeping as much as I should. I've been like sleeping well, but I haven't been able to get to sleep until super late at night, so that's been frustrating, but it feels like maybe I'm starting to get into a good flow of things. And also I have to keep reminding myself that I've literally only been here for a week. No one's gonna be settled in a week. Just remembered I did buy a book for my birthday. I went to the bookstore and let me tell you, there were about 20 fantasy books that I wanted to buy, sci-fi and fantasy. I did not buy any of them because I was like, I have a whole shelf of unread books here. That's not true. At least 50% of them are read, but there are a lot that are not. Actually, definitely more than 50% of these are read. But either way, I wanted to pick up this one. So I ended up getting The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This book kind of just, I know it's popular and I know that it's apparently an incredible book, just really flew under the radar for me. I mentioned it before, but I bought The Goldfinch, which is actually right here. I bought The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt when I found it in the thrift store. And then I think on the video where I mentioned that, someone recommended that I read The Secret History, which I looked into, and although it is not fantasy, this kind of like academia aesthetic and the idea of like secret societies and stuff and secret clubs in like school settings, I love books like this. I eat that shit up. One of my favorite series when I was younger was about a girl named Cam who went to spy school, and the series was called, the first book at least was called I'd Tell You I Love You, but Then I'd Have to Kill You. I loved those books. Loved them. And anything really that has anything to do with like dark academia themes, love it. So I did pick up The Secret History because I have been told that I should read it and that I would really enjoy it, and I can't always read fantasy. I do need to read other genres every once in a while, and I'm genuinely very excited for this one. So I did pick that up, and that is the only thing I got for my birthday. So good for me, because I wanted to buy so many other books. This morning so far, I have been going through all of the comments on my most recent video talking about how I have been feeling as far as writing goes, and how I have been kind of feeling the pressure and the influence from online platforms to be writing all the time and be keeping track of word counts and all of those sorts of things. And I just wanted to say, I'm going to go through all of the comments today and actually respond to them, but y'all have been so sweet, like so kind, and so many of you commented on that video and were like, I feel the same way and I'm glad that you're mentioning it. And so many comments saying like, you know, the most important thing is to just work on your art and not worry about what other people are doing, which is very true, but it's so easy to get sucked into focusing on what other people are doing, especially in online environments, like the environment that I spend most of my time in. So I just wanted to say those comments were so kind and so heartwarming. I maybe teared up a little bit, but I'm gonna be responding to those today. But first, what we are going to do is we are going to go to the thrift store and see if I can find a couple things that I'm still missing for the house. And then I'll probably pick up whatever I can't find at the thrift store and I'll go and like buy it from a department store. So that's what I'm gonna do this morning. I'm also going to get myself some coffee because I feel like a big old iced coffee. It's sunny out. It's like 10 degrees Celsius, which is nice for Canada, okay? So I'm gonna run around and do some errands this morning, and then I'm gonna do some writing later today. So that's the plan so far, and you're coming with me.
Just where it was needed. We'll always remember how it felt. A significant life, just what it was needed. Clean in the blackest night, cloistered in injustice dead. And in the eyes of time, nobody is losing. The sparrows will be here by dawn. When we find this over, they'll be gone. The trees will.
I've spent the majority of this weekend just relaxing and trying to reset. I feel like with moving and work stuff changing all over the place, as well as the stuff that I talked about in the video about kind of how I was feeling about writing, I've just felt a little bit burnt out. So I tried to, first of all, I spent a half of the weekend making sure that the rest of the house was actually in livable condition. It was in livable condition, but I wanted it to be to the point where I felt comfortable and I didn't feel cluttered. So we did get to that point, which I'm very happy about, and you got a couple little sneak peeks of what it looks like. I'm not sure yet if I'll do a full-on house tour because it's gonna take a while for me to actually finish like decorating and getting everything how I want it to be. But now it is at like a functional place, which is great. I also just finished reading The War of Two Queens by Jennifer L. Armentrout, which when I read the first 3 books in this series, it's from the Blood and Ash series. When I read the first 3 books, I thought those were all of the books. I thought it was a trilogy, and I was so devastated when I realized that there was a 4th book and it wasn't coming out until a month or so ago, or whenever it was that it came out. So then when it did come out, as you can imagine, I was so excited that the 4th book was finally out. And then I read this one thinking that it was the last book in this series. And why? I don't know why I keep doing that. I should just look up how many books she intends to have in the series. I did finish reading this. I really enjoyed it. I know there's mixed reviews on it, but it's a fantasy romance. There's lots of humor, lots of magic. I really enjoyed it. And at the back of this one, so this is the one that I got from Indigo, so I actually pre-ordered it, so I got one of the, I guess, first ones that they got into Indigo. So Indigo, the bookstore in Canada, has like a special little note at the back, and I'm wondering if other ones do as well. But as you can see, it says The War of Two Queens, a spoiler-filled afterword for Indigo. And it's basically Jennifer L. Armentrout, the author, going through and talking a little bit about why she did some of the things that she did throughout the series, and also giving a tiny little bit of kind of insight about how she starts to outline her novels and how she makes the decisions that she does. And I thought that that was just so wonderful. I love it when authors put little excerpts in the back of their books, and these kind of like extra chapters or extra kind of notes for the readers, because it just, especially for someone who is writing a bit more seriously now, it's just so, it is such a great way for me to connect more with the actual authors, which is something that I love doing because I love storytellers and I love being a storyteller myself. So I did read through this, and although there wasn't super deep insights onto how exactly she does her outlining, a couple things that she said did happen to inspire me. So I am going to do a little bit more work on the outline of Blood of Amberum, which, by the way, I have kind of come to the conclusion that I might need to rewrite the majority of it, which is what I had to do for Between the Waves as well. But I'm not upset about it this time around, because I'm also kind of getting myself into the mindset and the mentality that it doesn't have to be perfect the first time around. You can change the entire story if you want to. I'm not changing the entire story, but I am changing a huge chunk of it. So she was talking about her plotting and how she kind of just decided for this book she knew about how many chapters she wanted. It was going to be a 3-act plot structure, and then she sort of broke down those acts in a notebook and wrote down all of the major events that she wanted to happen in each act, and then she just started writing. And I love reading things like this because it reminds me that everyone needs to plot. Sometimes, I don't know why I feel this way, but sometimes I feel like I just want to start writing and I don't need to plot, and I should just start writing and see where it goes. And I can do that if I'm feeling like it, but I also think it's such a valuable skill to have, to be able to figure out plotting yourself. So I am going to basically do what she was talking about, but I'm going to do it for Blood of Amberum as though I'm starting from scratch. So I'm going to write down all the chapters I want. I'll probably use the same amount, and then I'm going to talk about the major events that I want to happen in each act, because something major at the beginning needs to change now, which means that is going to cause a ripple effect throughout the rest of the chapters. So with all of that being said, that is what we are going to do now, and basically just for as long as I feel like, because there's no pressure. I also, moving forward, you probably won't hear word counts from me for obvious reasons. I'm not going to be tracking them, but I will be letting you know where I am in the book and what kind of decisions I feel like I need to be making in the book. So I won't be mentioning word counts and like exact metrics like that, but I will be talking about kind of where I am in the book, how the writing's going, issues that I'm running into, and I'll give you as much detail as I possibly can without obviously spoiling the biggest parts of the plot. So yeah, that is where we're at, and I am going to have my second coffee of the day and get to writing.